December is a time of holidays, but it's also the time of the year when we look back and reflect on how the year went and what we could do differently. From the very start of Fiberchats, my goal for this channel was to introduce my audience to a wide variety of fiber artists from all over the world. It was also to create a platform where the fiber artists could share their process, their inspirations, and also their struggles. And one of the things I hear the most on my channel is how difficult it is to make a name for yourself. It's very difficult for fiber artists to find their audience, to find their niche, to share the information about the new patterns that they design or the yarn that they dye. And I always put all the information about the artists in the description of the video so you can find them and follow them and do all that stuff. But what if buying new yarn or buying a pattern is just not in your budget? So today I want to talk about all the ways you can help to support fiber artists and creators without spending a dime. So let's talk about that. Every single person I brought onto my channel, I met through social media. And the very first thing I want to encourage you to do, if you are on any of the social media platform, find the artists that you like and follow them. They usually post all their announcements on social media, which often includes calls for test knits or announcements about giveaways. And giveaway is a wonderful way for you to participate in something and have a chance to win, but also to introduce your friends to this artist. Usually the way the giveaways work is they ask you to follow them and tag some of your friends. So when you tag your friends, you're introducing them to this artist who might be new to them. When it comes to designers, one of the best ways to help them is to participate in a test knit. By doing that, not only you get the pattern for free, but you also establish relationship with this designer. You learn some new to you techniques. You learn the new ways to write the pattern if you have an ambition to try designing for yourself one day. It's also invaluable for the designers to have testers of all different levels. So if you think I'm not good enough to be a test knitter yet, you probably are. It's very beneficial for the designer to have a novice knitters as part of the test knit, because if you have an issue, if you have a question, chances are a lot of other people might have the same question when they get that pattern. So by participating in test knit, you are doing something exciting. It's free for you, but you're also helping the designer. Another way to help the designers is to share their announcements about new pattern release. And I do that all the time on my Instagram. You can always see in my stories some new pattern release announcement. By doing that, this pattern might not be for you. You might not have a budget for it, or it just might not be fitting your schedule of crafting. However, your friends might really love that pattern, and you introducing your friends to new to them designer. Another way in which you can help a designer is to put that pattern in your favorites on Ravelry. When you do that, it triggers Ravelry algorithm to show that pattern to people who knit or crochet things similar to what you do. So it actually widens the exposure for the designer, and it doesn't cost you a penny to do that. If you do need the pattern, then don't forget to post pictures, and don't forget to add it to the project page on Ravelry, because that shows other people the possibilities with that pattern. They might like your color choices much better than the original designs, or they might find your notes very helpful, because something like, if you, let's say you ran out of yarn, they would know that if they are loose knitters, they need to get more yarn. By putting your notes into the project notes, you're helping those designers, because more people will feel comfortable to buy that pattern if there are projects being done. It shows them that the pattern has been tested. It shows them that there are no major issues with the pattern. So it's always very helpful. A lot of times people on social media would ask for suggestions of what to knit with certain yarn. Suggest them the designs of designers you like. Even if they don't buy that pattern, somebody else might discover a new designer for themselves. So that always helps. The yarn dyers often have different giveaways where you can win their yarn without purchasing it. Participate in those. You have absolutely nothing to lose. They usually just ask to follow them and tag some of your friends. And by doing that, not only you have a chance to win beautiful yarn, but you also might introduce your friends to the yarn dyer that they haven't previously known and create new audience for them. And I want to encourage you to connect with the designers and connect with indie dyers, connect with fiber artists. Don't just follow them actively. Comment on their posts, give your opinion when they do polls, give your suggestions on how they can improve, what else they can create. Help the yarn dyers name their yarn. It's very difficult to come up with new names for the yarn all the time. And you might be surprised that you're going to develop deep friendships along the way. It's usually like very unexpected. You can strike a conversation with somebody through comments, and then suddenly you're becoming best friends. Such thing happened to me. I met David van de Kamp that way. And not only we became good friends, we started the Facebook group together called Knitters Gonna Knit. And the specific point of that group was to create a platform where people could promote their own businesses. The designers posting the test calls there, they posting announcements about the new patterns, the yarn dyers post their announcements about sales, and then a lot of deals happening, like the designers find new to them yarn dyers, the people who wanted to test knit find the designers that need test knitters. So there is a lot of collaborations happening in the group, and I invite you to join if you are a knitter or if you have knitting related business. But what it also does, it creates the community of people who support each other, who help each other, and who can understand things you're going through, who can be of help to you if you struggle with a certain pattern, or if you can't decide, if you're having creator's block and you don't know what to create next. You'll get a lot of inspiration from groups like that. Another group of people that you can often see on my channel are my fellow YouTubers, people who have knitting podcasts, crocheting podcasts, all kinds of creative podcasts. And the reason I like to interview them is because not only it gives me ideas of the things that they're dealing with, but it also connects me to this community. And then I meet them at fiber festivals, and it feels like they're my good friends. But every time I talk to the YouTubers, I hear the same thing. It's very hard to stay consistent. It's very hard to come up with the ideas of what else they can share with you. And it's a lonely thing because you're talking to the camera. You don't know if anybody is watching. You don't know if you're talking to one person or thousands of people. So by commenting under the videos, you give us this feedback. You tell us that we are being seen. What we do matters to you. By giving us suggestion, you helping us to come up with the ideas of what else we can talk about, what else is interesting for you. And I rely on those suggestions all the time. I often ask to suggest the guests that I can bring to my channel or the questions that I can ask. And by participating, you're really helping me in this respect. I often hear from YouTubers that they feel they burn out and they don't know if they want to continue, if anybody is watching. So when you write that comment, it might be just a short sentence for you, but it might be actually life-changing for them, because that shows them that they're being seen and what they do matters. And lots of times when I feel down, I would read comments and it would make all the difference, because I know that what I did made somebody's day better. So how can you help the creators on YouTube? Well, the first and most obvious thing is you can subscribe to their channel. It costs nothing. But what you do is not only that you are their subscriber, but the YouTube algorithm understands that people who watch things similar to you might also like to discover this channel. So it pushes that channel's videos into the suggested videos. So just by clicking that subscribe button, not only you helping that channel by becoming a member of that channel, but you're also introducing that channel to a wide variety of people who might like it as well and might subscribe as well. Also, if you're watching your favorite YouTube channel, share a screenshot on social media. I cannot tell you what an amazing feeling that is to see a picture of you being on the screen on somebody else's story on Instagram or on Facebook. It really makes the person's day. Hitting the like button is another thing you can easily do, but I must tell you that comments are the most important thing you can do. You can subscribe or not subscribe, like the video or not click that like button. But if you write a comment, you're really making an impact on this creator. You're letting them know what you like, what other questions you might want to be answered. You might give them suggestions. You might give them critique, which is fine. Like, we like receiving critique. We want to improve. It's obviously a journey for all of us. We're not born YouTubers. We're trying to figure it out as we go. I often get a comment, you look so comfortable with the camera. And let me tell you, that's not the case at all. It's always nerve-wracking. I have to prepare myself. I have to get into a mood to be recording myself. And I always feel like I'm just struggling with the camera and I don't even know if anybody will watch that. So your comments bring this sense of comfort to me and to the other YouTubers. So in this season, please be supportive. If you're on social media, instead of just mindlessly scrolling through, find one post that really calls your name and share it in your stories. Or find a video that really made an impact on you and share it in Facebook group, in some comment. Tell a friend. If every person would share one video that they like, it would double the views of the channel. So these are some of the ways of how you can help creative people, fiber artists, to stay positive, to continue creating, to come up with new ideas. I hope you got something out of this program, and I hope you'll find creators that you want to support. Thank you so very much. Happy holidays and happy crafting.